Alright, how's it going? My name's Stephen Costigan and this is my uh, website redesign for Art337R. So in this one we had to redesign the website for Adams County, Iowa. Unlike some of my classmates who made some fantastic designs that were very different from the original, I kind of like the bones of the original. I just felt like it could be tweaked. So a lot of my redesigns were based on that premise of keeping the general idea because I like the idea of keeping something relatively familiar for people coming back to it. And so a lot of my changes were not drastic in that I like to keep things kind of similar to how they were before. So I'm going to start off with my web version. So this is my web version. Now I did add a little bit of a scroll functionality. I had to do a drag for that one. And I figured out a better way to do that for my mobile site. But I'll show you that later. Apparently my boxes aren't showing up. Weird. Anyway, so I had boxes there. That was weird. So you can see here there's boxes, but there wasn't on the preview. So that's curious. Anyway, let's go back to it. There were more interesting looking buttons there, but then what you could see, so that's really strange. Anyway, let's move on because we're digressing. So I have a series of pages that are set up along here, and they're all signified by the box that you can see around them. I kept departments relatively vague because that was not a requirement, and because there was a lot of departments and I didn't want to have to make one for each of them. So I just kept it generic as it was not a requirement, but I wanted to have it in there. So in terms of the election information, because that was one of the things that we needed to do, was a voter information page. So I have here the voter ID requirements, things like that, registering to vote, and here's the button to register to vote. Here's the party affiliations for the area, and so forth. You can also look at past elections and click on see the election results and so forth. As well as that, you can register to vote, which will take you back to the other. And I think I showed election results. There are 3 pages in total. Voting precincts was the other one. There we are. Now there is also a driver's test page, so I'll get there in a second. I redesigned this page as I really liked the page, but again it wasn't a requirement, so I kept it simple. So the services is where the driver's section is. So if I go to apply for a permit, this is my builder's permit section. You can look at the general idea of things you might need a permit for and things you don't need one for, and then getting a building permit and viewing the zoning map. So as well as that, I've got the driver services where people can go in and schedule a driver's test, practice a written test, vehicle registration, and driver's handbook. So a lot of the functions that we were required to have, I thought would be best kept as their own individual buttons. So like scheduling the test, then when you clicked on that, it would show the map and everything like that, show you the availability. As right now, it's based on a button click. So it seemed like it would just be a neater way to do that and keep this relatively neat. In terms of, and again, that swipe is effective for all of these layouts. So the gallery page, similarly, is in like a grid format, kind of like Instagram, just in a nice best fit sort of a situation. But you can also do a search based on month, day, year to month, day, year. So it's kind of a search range function there. Job openings, it wasn't a requirement, but it's in there. And contact, I left that vague because it wasn't required. So that's it for that one. Now let's look at the mobile website. So the mobile website, I had a lot more ideas for that because this is what we were supposed to be basing our ideas on. We were supposed to do mobile first, and so regarding the scrolling, as you can see, I solved that problem a lot easier. And the way I did that was I had a menu hiding behind everything. So this one scrolled away and the other one remained. So that was kind of a cool way to do that. I wish I'd done that for the other one. I end up having to make duplicate layouts, so that was fun. Now the menu, so we have 3 kind of breakout menus that swipe across, and as you click on those, they take you to the correct sections. Elections is another one, departments. So each one of these goes off, and they have their own little information in them. Just it felt a good way to do that. So like voting precincts and everything like that. And I have here online access where you can register to vote an absentee ballot. So I kept an online access sort of theme going for a number of places. So like in online services, not there, sorry. In applying for a permit, similarly you have it down there, building permit and view zoning map. So I kept a consistent theme, and it's a different color of these buttons because I wanted them to stand out as their own separate thing. Similarly, this information here is the same. And lastly, the vehicle registration and everything like that is all here. So schedule your test, vehicle registration, practice written test, and driver's handbook. So all the vehicle stuff is here. Um, all the election stuff is all here as well. Similar to the other, all the pages are the same, and the register to vote just brings you back here. Elections, election information, you can scroll down. Election results, similarly to the other ones. This map recurs quite a few times because it has a lot of that same information that is used by all of them. And now another thing I did on this one was the gallery. So as you click on this, it goes into large view, kind of like on Facebook, and you can see a little bit of information there, scroll between them, which obviously isn't set up, and close out of that, and similar search functionality. Obviously it's full width because this is mobile, and so it's a lot more immersive. So yeah, that's that for all my layouts. I think that was everything. So yeah, hope you enjoyed watching it. Thanks.